And especially as of today, that the pressure is mounting on the activists on Iran, like mounting like crazy. We have to do this even more, right? So when it comes in 48 hours, February 11th, 2023, we have the responsibility to even go to the street on behalf of them.
You believe major protests, major demonstrations have an important impact. Now, that may sound obvious, but there are literally people who have clapped back at me, who have come on the show or have spoken in social media saying, what is the purpose of these demonstrations? They're not really getting us anywhere. And what do they really have to do with, the important stuff is inside Iran. So tell us why, first of all, you believe a major protests, major demonstrations are still important.
Yeah, I totally get their point. I don't think they're off by a lot margin. I think they have a valid argument. And I think one keyword in your sentence was a major protest. I think if we do like a small protest, it's not going to be as it's not going to, we're not going to gain by doing like 10,000 like small protests in everywhere. We do need major protests. And first of all, in 48 hours, in 2 days, it's the 44th anniversary of the revolution, right? That's the occasion. Basically.
We're going to say Saturday, February 11th, because if somebody's watching this tomorrow, they don't want, you don't want them to hear
Saturday, February 11th. Yeah. And I think behind all these arguments that why this regime has to go, that is the economy, the corruption, the human right, the women right, the anything, the religious dictatorship, the freedom of speech, above everything is this very simple argument, is simple question that do people of Iran, do Iranians want this government? What's the approval rate of this regime, right? And that covers everything, right? And you can ask that question very differently. You can ask, okay, are you happy with the regime? That probably over 95% of the people would say no. Even some of the supporters of the regime would say no, things are not good. If you ask, do you want this regime to go? Do we have to go through the revolution with all the costs and everything? The number drops a lot, but I believe it's still over 70%. Maybe over 80%, right? We don't have that number. But at the end of the day, that number is the key argument. If Iranian wants this regime to go, they must go, right? If they want this, even if as bad as they are, if they want them to stay, they can stay, right? And here comes the propaganda machine that is a core part of this religious dictatorship. I call it Orwellian government, whatever you want to call it, right? They work in two dimensions, basically. The first dimension is convincing people, especially the less educated people, that things are okay. Like if you listen to Khamenei's speech, every time he talks about dushman, or he makes excuses, right? It's America, it's the West, it's not us. Like things are okay, and the rest of the world are also poor, and whatever, we're fighting and we're strong and we have the missiles and whatever. Like things are good, right? That's the first part of the propaganda. The second part is lying about this number, right? You don't have a free election. You cannot conduct a poll, and you cannot go to the street. Like there is no way that you show that what is this number. And their claim is some ridiculous number. They still claim that 98% of the people are happy with the regime, right? So I think the core to every movement and the backbone of everything that we have to do has to be that this number, we have to demonstrate how large this number is, right? That's the key part and the central part of this movement. And now we come to basically the 44th anniversary. They're going to spend all the money they have, and probably the money that they don't have, to bring the people in the streets. In Iran, in every city, they have been doing it for a while, and they invested a lot of money. And now it's our job to basically play our role, show, no, this is our side. And the thing is, this is what I tweeted about today, this revolution, or whatever you want to call it, one reason that has been successful in keep going for a very long time is it has two heads, the heads inside and the head outside, right? And they work as inefficient as it has been for some period of time. They have been working actually in some synergy together, right? And that I call one of the keys to the success of this movement so far. And especially as of today, that the pressure is mounting on the activists on Iran, like mounting like crazy. We have to do this even more, right? So when it comes in 48 hours, February 11th, 2023, we have the responsibility to even go to the street on behalf of them, right? And that's the key part. So there is this day that we're only 48 hours from it, and we have this responsibility, and half of us, not half of us, obviously there are a bigger population, they can't do anything because of the pressure, right?